Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another edition of On the Range in the A-10C Warthog. And today I'm going to continue looking at the CCRP bombing mode and have a closer look at two of the sub-modes of CCRP, and that's the 5mm and the 3.9. I guess options or sub-modes, they really don't have any kind of specific name that I know of, but it's basically two different ways in which you can effect a release of a bomb. So let me demonstrate these two by selecting a profile that's applicable to what I'm talking about here. So I'll begin with the GBU-12. So I have the GBU-12 selected, and I've already set it up to come in the CCRP mode. And you can see that above the GBU-12 numeric here on the left side of the HUD, I have 3.9. Now if I switch over to the Mark 82, which is an unguided bomb, now you can see that changes to 5mm. So those are the two sub-modes of CCRP I'm talking about. The difference between the two comes into play, and let me come back around into the target area a little bit to show you the key feature of the 5mm. What the 5mm is referring to is the diameter of the solution Q. The solution Q is a 5 milliradian circle, and in the 5mm mode, the key is that as you approach the bomb release and are holding the weapons release button and the aircraft is about to release the bomb, for the aircraft to automatically release the bomb within the 5mm setting, the solution Q has to be intersected by the center of the pipper. So in other words, or you could look at it from the other point of view, the center of the pipper has to be within the 5mm radius of the solution Q. Otherwise, it's not going to release the bomb. And that's there by default on unguided bombs. And you could imagine why that's important. You know, if I have my aircraft offset to, like in this case, the left, and I'm doing a CCRP release, I got my ASL and solution Q over here. Okay, the solution Q is going to come down, but if I'm offset this far to the left, I can't count on it being accurate. So that's why having it perfectly lined up with that CCRP bomb reticule at the bottom of the PBRL is important. So if you're not perfectly lined up on your delivery and really paying attention, you're on the risk of it aborting the run on you. Now you do get a little bit of an indication to help you out and to give you a heads up whether or not you're within the release parameters for 5mm. So let me go ahead and continue inbound on this target, and I'll demonstrate what an aborted 5mm release looks like. And let me tweak this up a little bit to get on it, although I am going to abort this run. Now as I get closer to the release, you can see that I have my time to release numeric displayed next to the solution Q, and that my reticule is within that 5mm circle. So if I stay exactly as I am right now, I'm now depressing and holding the weapons release button, but watch what happens as I turn off. Now I get an X in the solution Q. I'm still holding it. The solution Q has gone down below the reticule, but the aircraft inhibited the release, and it did not allow the bomb to come off because the aircraft knew that if I dropped it in, it would miss way to the left of where I intended the bomb to go. So that's the intent behind the 5mm mode of CCRP, and that's why it's there, to help you out with unguided bomb deliveries and ensure that they're going to be accurate. Now the other sub-mode that we have applies to your guided munitions. So let me go ahead and call up my GBU-12 profile, and again, as I bring up the GBU-12, you see that the 5mm numeric changes to a 3.9. Now, just like with the 5mm numeric, the 3.9 is also giving you a heads up on what criteria needs to be met for the aircraft to release a weapon. So on the 5mm release, it had to be within 5mm of the center of the reticule had to be within that 5mm circle. With the 3.9, the 3.9 is referring to the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock position on the bomb reticule. So the key here is that it doesn't have to be as precise. You can just have it anywhere within this reticule, and once the solution Q comes down through the reticule and passes through that line going from the 3 o'clock to the 9 o'clock, the bomb will release. So that's really the difference. It's there to set it up so that you don't have to be as accurate on a guided release as you need to be on an unguided release. So I will come around real quick to demonstrate, and as I come back around into the target area, now I have my ASL with the solution Q displayed. And now I'm counting down 15 seconds to release. I'm depressing and holding my weapon's release button. And you can see that the solution Q is outside of the 5 mil radius, but I don't have that X, and it's going to allow me to release this weapon. So there we go. It passed through that 3-9 line, and the weapon released. I have 20 seconds to impact. And we'll watch this one on the way down and see how it goes. And I've also set up this one to auto laze at 10 seconds, so okay, 12 seconds. Let me tweak up my guidance here slightly. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's the wrong time to make switchology errors is during terminal guidance, but okay, I had it set up good enough. Auto lasing and impact. So the 3-9 option is there to make it less restrictive on you and to help you out, because you don't have to be as precise when you're releasing a guided weapon as you do when you're releasing an unguided weapon. Now, one more small point to make on the 3-9 option is that, and this is a tricky one, because in the manual it says that the ASL and the solution Q has to be within the reticle, but what I'm finding is that in DCS that it doesn't have to be in the reticle at all. It will successfully release a bomb once the ASL or once the solution Q on the ASL just passes that 3-9 line anywhere within the field of view of the HUD, or even offset from the field of view of the HUD. But, and I'll demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about here as well. But even though you do have the capability to release a weapon from high off bore sight like that using this mode, you don't have to have the solution Q come right down through the reticle itself. You don't always want to do that, because the further off bore sight you are during your release, or not by off bore sight I mean offset to the left or right of the target, the further off bore sight you are, the more difficulty the bomb is going to have to pick up the laser spot on the ground initially once it starts to laze, or once your aircraft starts to laze. So I'm coming down 8 seconds, 7 seconds to press and hold the weapon's release switch, and it's still counting down even though I can't see it. And there we go. My weapon is away. But what I'm betting this time is that unless I do some techniques, and there are some things that I can do to salvage this release, but unless I do some techniques, the bomb is going to be too far right of track. Now it's lasing. Let me go to the bomb and see what it's doing. Okay, my target's over there, but my bomb continues to fall off to the right. It just could not pick up the laser spot on the ground. So even though you do have the capability with the 3-9 release option to release from high off-bore sight angles, there are some tricks and techniques that I'll show in a later video to help you out with that and make that successful. That can be a valid technique at some point, but be careful, because yeah, chances are, unless you do something really, really sneaky, the bomb is not going to impact. So there you have it. That's a discussion of the 5 mil and the 3-9 option when it comes to CCRP bombing. So hopefully that did help you out. That's a topic that comes up for discussion a lot on the internet forums and just overall. So if you did enjoy the video, please do help me out by leaving a like and leaving a comment in the comment section below, or consider subscribing to the channel. There's a lot more stuff like this here, so I will see you next time. Thanks again.